want to start with this quote from Yogi Bhajan, who's the master of Kundalini Yoga who brought it to the West, and I'm so fortunate to be able to teach it. And I love this. He says, "We are made of the energy of the universe, and we must replenish that universal energy every day in order to live." So we are made of the universe, of the energy of the universe, and we must replenish that universal energy every day in order to live. True, isn't it? Replenish it in whatever way that is, by the food, by our breath, by being still, by turning within, by laughing, by, there's so many ways to replenish ourselves. So it's a nice one to kind of start with. For me, I always get this, asking, what's the message? What's the message each month, since we're meeting each month? What's the message? And being that it's a new year, that was pretty easy, New year, new you, I like that one. New year, new you. Because every moment we have an opportunity to be new again, right? Every moment. Don't we? Where does it begin? Between the ears. Isn't it true? Through our thoughts. Through our thoughts we become new. And then our cells become new, don't they? Our cells are recreated new all the time. What's it? Every summer, every 30 days, some are every 90 days. We have new cells in our body, new life. So I thought that was a wonderful thing. New year, new you. And I know that people always say to me, oh, well, this year I've got these New Year's resolutions. I'm going to lose, I always go by weight, but kilos, right? And I'm going to do this, and I'm going to get fit, and I'm going to work out an hour every day, and I'm going to study and become more spiritual, and I'm going to read all these spiritual books, and you want to add more? I'm going to... I mean, how many of us have done that in the room? And then the year goes by, and we go, oh, I didn't quite do it, or, whatever it might be. Does that ever happen? You kind of have a really good intention for the beginning of the year, and then you look back at the end of the year and you go, oh, I haven't quite done that. I'm still there. Or I haven't done it fully, or, whatever it might be. So I wanted to spend today just really sitting with this new you. What does that mean? What does your heart and your soul and your being want to create this year for you? What's one thing? New thing, new year, new microphone. What's one thing that you know in your being you're being called for this year? You know that every part of you is saying, you got to do it this year. You got to do it now. There's no waiting anymore. There's no procrastinating anymore. You got to do it. Because I really feel that that's what we're all being called for right now. This is an amazing time on the planet. All you have to do is look around and see what's going on to know that this is a huge time of change and of transformation and of transmuting energy. Things are being transmuted. We look at the floods cleaning and things happening and people experiencing all sorts of things. From changes in the body to cancer, to pain, to, name it, all sorts of things we're experiencing. And we can look at it as, why is this happening to me? What have I done? I've been praying, what have I done wrong? Or we can look at it and go, wow, bring it on. Okay, bring on the opportunities. What gifts? What do I have to learn from this? What's the blessing here that I can call upon? And what can I do different in this moment? Because everything that happens is an opportunity to stop, isn't it? Stop and reflect. Stop and go, okay, I'll stop and take a breath and just be with what is. We went to see Lisa and I went to see Gangaji. She's a spiritual teacher, and she travels the world giving talks. And so we came to see. We went to one of her satsangs. We went to one of her satsangs. So can you just come? And her message was so simple, yet it's not always so simple. But her message was about tuning within and just noticing and reflecting, and I'm trying to get what the word was that she always said. It's not coming. But the basic idea of her message was, people would come up and talk to her, and they'd say, "How are you feeling?" And she'd say, and the person would say, "I'm feeling fear right now." And she'd say, "What's under the fear? What's under the pain? What's there? What's there present in this moment?" And I sat in the audience and I thought, that's so profound, because really that's all that there is an opportunity to just be with whatever is and not judge it, not make it right or wrong. Because we do that so much, don't we? Oh, I didn't lose the weight I wanted to lose, and I'm bad, and I didn't do what I said I was going to do, and time to kick ourselves even more. But we have to stop that. There's no room for that anymore, because it's stopping us from doing what we're here to do, from being magnificent, from being healthy. Isn't it? There's no place for that anymore. So it's a wonderful time just to stop, to really notice those judgments and those resistances and those patterns that are keeping us stuck. To just go in them and bless them. Say, okay, I'm going to breathe right into that, and I'm going to bless it, and I'm going to just be in the moment with this and see what's underneath it. What's underneath it? What's there? It's a wonderful practice. It's a wonderful spiritual practice. Because all those answers are within ourselves. And then to be able to go, what's my calling right now? What is this year calling me to do? What is this year calling me to create? And then take the steps. What do I need to do that? And what's in the way? Being able to look at what resistance is there. What's in the way of stepping forward and doing that for yourself this year? This moment, because this is all there is anyway, isn't there? All there is right now. It's interesting, Maria and I produced a television show last year, and how it all came about was quite a miracle in itself. And how this all happens, and Spirit gives you things, puts you in the path of people, gives you opportunities, and you have the opportunity to say, okay, I'll step into this, I'll say yes. Right? So Maria had the opportunity to meet this man, and they were talking and sharing, and he just said to her, "I'm a producer, and I would like to have a lifestyle show. Would you like to do this show?" And she said, "Well," I'm not sure what she said. She's right here. No. She said no. She said, "That's too big. I can't do that."
And then he said, "Do you have a friend? Like, you should have a friend." Like, it was so strange, because he was so persistent about it. I didn't know him from anywhere. He just felt there was something there for it. And so he said, "Do you have a friend? Do you have a friend?" And I thought, "Oh, Laurie." So that's how Laurie came on board. Then we met him.
So the two of us just said yes. We both said, okay, this has happened, let's say yes. Let's say yes and see where this goes. Right? So things come into our path all the time, right? Sometimes we have this picture in our head that says, no, it needs to look like this. But no, it doesn't. And the timing isn't our timing, it's God's timing, really. So if we can can get those two things, whew, you know, it makes life so much easier. And so Maria and I stepped into this. We both stepped into this. And had we thought a lot about it, we just probably wouldn't have, but we didn't. We just said, okay, we'll do it. And we sat down and we just called Spirit in. We said, we're gonna be part of this with Spirit. We are. You know, this is God's show. This is grace. This is all happened because it's meant to happen, right? So we put this show together that was just beautiful. We chose 3 incredible guests to be on our show. We chose the theme, which was about giving. And we actually interviewed 5 people. We interviewed Swamiji, who's this most beautiful divine soul from India. Oh, absolutely divine. And his assistant, who's also divine. And then we went into the studio and we interviewed 3 other beautiful people. And we had this show. And end of last year happened, and we kind of didn't know what was going to happen with it. You know, where was it going to go? How were we going to get it out there? What was going to happen with it? You know, all these questions that our mind does. You know, how's this going to happen? What are we going to do with this? You know, I can't do this. You know, do we ever do that? You know, the how. So, you know, in this spiritual journey, I'm realizing more and more that we're not supposed to know the how. You don't have to know the how. The how's not your job. It's not your job. So let go of the how. Your job is just to say yes. Your job is to trust that you're going to be shown how. Right? So we put the show aside. We put the show aside. We just kind of, Maria showed it to people and I showed it to a few people, and we put it aside. We both kind of knew that if it was meant to happen, something divine would show up. So Stan and I moved to this new area, and the woman that lives next door is a producer. And she's giving me a ride home from teaching a yoga class, and she comes and picks me up and drives me home, and we're talking in the car, and I said, what do you produce? And she's telling me, and I said, Maria and I produced a show. She said, I want to see it. So there you go. You know, I'm not sure what will happen from this, but it doesn't matter, because it's just all divine timing, and things come and happen and unfold as they're meant to.